So I would like to welcome everyone who made it today and who made it on time to today's webinar. So today we talk about breathing and why it's so important that I'm actually holding a webinar on it. So I have changed screens. I'm not going to see if you message me. I'm not going to see. And if you have any questions, ask them, and then throughout the webinar I will stop, or at the end I will stop and I'll answer them. All right, so let's begin. First of all, what we will cover, we will talk about what is deep breathing and or diaphragmatic breathing. So it's the same thing. We will see what it is. We'll talk about the benefits of deep breathing. These include cardiovascular, getting the most out of your workout for those of you who work out, stress management, weight control. So there's everything for everyone. And we will look at breathing techniques, and we will talk about linear breathing, triangle breathing, square, rectangle, and therapeutic breathing. And then there are the 5 practical steps that you can do for a few minutes every day, and you don't even need to set aside a few minutes. You don't need to set them aside. You can do them anywhere, but we will talk about that. That's at the end. So for those of you who don't know who I am Alexandra Merisoiu, and I'm the founder of Urban Women Fitness and creator of the Merisoiu technique. The technique is based on 5 principles: earthing, fluid movement, organic movement, food discipline, and mindful control. And the breathing mastery is part of the mindful control component. And what I do when I'm not a coach, I don't like talking about myself too much, but I dedicate my time to karate, which I've been doing since 1995, and I competed national and international level. I've been ranked 2nd in the world championships, national champion, World Cup champion, a lot of champion, and now I actually represent England in the World Championships in October. The other side is my passion. It's obstacle racing, which I used to do. I've been doing it for 3 years now, less this year because of the World Championships, the karate ones, but it's still something I really love doing. So I'm addicted to it, I would say, but it's a good addiction. Right. So this is what we're going to start with. I really like this quote because we don't have enough quotes, so I will start with one. Everything breathes, and is the inspiration of life within all living forms of reality. In humans, breathing is the biological basis and spiritual expression that renews life, propels awareness, and focuses mind-body function in time and space. So this is the first principle of conscious connected breathing. And one of my senseis used to say, my Daitori sensei, I'm paraphrasing him because I don't remember exactly what he said. He said something like, if we cannot control our breathing, how are we supposed to control our thoughts, our bodies, or even the world around us? Breathing is, if we cannot feel and fully experience this simple act of breathing, how are we supposed to be mindful of anything else within us or around us? So unfortunately, very few fitness professionals teach their clients about correct breathing, about breathing patterns, breathing exercises, or even how to breathe while exercising. So we will go through all this together. I'm going to explain how to do it. So what is deep breathing? Deep breathing is filling up your lungs, also called breathing into your stomach or diaphragmatic breathing. And the reason this is so difficult for us, well, it's very simple. Harvard's publishing, Harvard, they published a lot of articles. They have 2 reasons for why we forget to, or we don't do deep breathing. First of all, flat stomach is a symbol of attractiveness. So you see a lot of girls who suck the stomach in just to be attractive, to be, it's a symbol of sex. It's interesting, it's beautiful, but it's wrong. And then is restricted range of motion in the diaphragm because we don't actually use it. So it restricts it. So it becomes very difficult for us to breathe correctly while we run, while we sing, while we just sit, right? And we will talk about why it's not good to do shallow breathing. So the process. The biggest problem in learning proper diaphragmatic breathing is knowing where the diaphragm is located. So the diaphragm is the dome-shaped sheet of muscle inserted into the lower ribs, and it separates the abdominal cavity from the thoracic cavity. So it's the shape of the diaphragm is like an upside-down U when it's relaxed. So it's the picture on the right. When we inhale, the diaphragm descends while the intercostal muscles between the ribs raise the front of the rib cage. This makes the thoracic cavity deeper and larger, allowing air to be drawn into the lungs. During exhalation, the out-breath, the rib cage drops to its resting position, so on the right side, while the diaphragm relaxes and elevates to its dome-shaped position in the chest, so it comes back to normal. So the air within the lungs is forced out of the body as the size of the thoracic cavity decreases. So that's why when we breathe out, we pull our stomach in, because the size of the thoracic cavity decreases, so we squeeze all the air out of the stomach. So what are the benefits of deep breathing? There are many benefits, but I'm only going to go into detail with just a few of them. But this is like a list. Improves cardiovascular system, removes your heart. It's like a muscle, and like any other muscle, we can strengthen it through practice. And the practice is the deep breathing. Then we remove stale air from our lungs and replace it with fresh air. Helps you heal faster by directing the breath into areas of the body where there are injuries or illnesses. It's good to note here that breathing, although helps the healing process, that doesn't mean it has to replace medical recommendations, medical treatments. So it can be an add-on if it's the case. It reduces your cardiovascular warm-up at the start of your workout. Really important, and very few people know this. It reduces your recovery period after your workout. So that's how you get the most out of your workout. Detoxify your body. Let go of stress. Relaxes the mind and brings clarity. That's why all the meditations are focused around this breathing. We're at the beginning and at the end, and it brings focus. Relieves emotional struggles like panic and anxiety. Okay, I want just to go through a few of the benefits, the ones that I think are important. They're all important, but I just selected some of them. So your heart rate variability. So when you inhale, you speed up your heart rate by stimulating the sympathetic branch of your nervous system. And the sympathetic branch is it stimulates the body's flight or fright response. It's constantly active at a basic level to maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis is the level at which the chemical, physical, and mental processes in your body are in balance. So everything is in harmony. That's the word. Everything is harmony. That's homeostasis. When you exhale, you slow your heart down by stimulating the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system. So this is responsible for stimulating the rest and digest or feed and breathe activities that occur when the body is at rest. So especially after eating. So basically, the heart rate variability is the variation in the interval between heartbeats. A high heart rate variability is achieved when a person is relaxed and breathing slowly. So your heart rate varies naturally, increasing during inhalation and decreasing during exhalation, sort of. And it's inversely proportional to stress. So the more stressed you are, the less your heart rate speeds up and slows down with every breath. So that's a low heart rate variability. The less stressed you are, the greater the range of heart rate variability, and that's what we want to have. So a healthy heart is always adjusting to the internal and external environment. A healthy heart is resilient, it's responsive, and it's adaptable. And the way to regulate the way to maintain this, to maintain a greater range of heart rate variability, is to have a healthy heart. So breathing exercises will help you have a healthy heart. Cardiovascular system. So as the heart beats, it continuously pumps oxygen and nutrient-rich blood throughout your body to sustain life. So we're talking 100 times beats, 100,000 times beats per day, pumping about 23,000 liters or 5,000 gallons of blood every day throughout your body. And that's a lot, isn't it? So as the heart beats, expands and contracts, it pumps blood through a system of blood vessels called the circulatory system. The vessels, we all know it, they're elastic, they're muscular tubes that carry blood to every part of your body. In addition to carrying fresh oxygen from the lungs and nutrients to your body's tissues, blood also takes the body's waste products, including carbon dioxide, away from the tissues. So this is necessary to sustain life and promote the health of all the body's tissues. So, breathing exercise is not only about workout, but it's actually getting the toxins out of the body. And most of the time we do shallow breathing. This is why it's so important. When we look at the outside of the heart, you can see that the heart is made of muscle. And that's why you have the strength to sing, right? The heart is a muscle. Your muscle is strong. The strong muscular walls contract, so they squeeze, they are pumping blood to the rest of your body. Now, breathing exercises strengthens the heart muscles to help it transport blood around the body as effective as possible. And like any muscle, it develops through practice. The problem is the shallow breathing we practice almost all the time fails to bring adequate oxygen to the body and also fails to cleanse the body of waste products. So I'm going to show you what to do whenever you can throughout the day to help your body thrive. So how can we get the most out of our sessions? Whether we talk about yoga or we talk, simple stretching when you're at home, or we talk about obstacle racing or karate, or, well, pretty much anything. Breathing reduces the cardiovascular warm-up needed for your workout. So in the same time, it also prepares the body for cardiovascular exercise. And it also increases blood flow to the muscles and increases temperature. So when you do them, whether you do them or not, your body will still warm up. But through these exercises, you do it faster and more efficient. So I had a client a few months ago asking me, yeah, but you do your warm-up, won't you get tired? And I said, no, actually, if you do it for a certain amount of time, you will not get tired. In fact, you're going to get to the point where your exercise will be efficient. So you're going to be able to do a sprint and it's going to be more efficient. You're not going to get as tired. While if you don't do the warm-up, your body will still warm up, but it still needs the 10-15 minutes. It's not going to just be comfortable with anything you give it. So by doing breathing exercise, you actually help the body warm up faster. So you won't get tired if you do it for 10-15 minutes and if you do the right warm-up. After the workout, breathing exercises help direct blood flow to the muscles for faster recovery. Adaptations, so the progress, does not take place during the workout, but in the following days. So we're talking about 7-10 days after your workout that you actually get the benefits of what you did today. So when it comes to stretching, breathing out on the stretch will help you increase flexibility because the muscles relax. Then in case of injuries, therapeutic breathing helps direct blood flow to the affected area and help recovery. And for runners, it can also reduce the risk of cramping. So, whoa, you know, how much can you get out of your workout if you actually give a bit of attention to how you breathe before, during, and after your workout. Weight control. Weight control. So more oxygen to your tissues burns the excess fat more efficiently. And then we have the other side where we do deep breathing exercises. Helps our muscles in your body contracts. So in karate, we actually practice tension breathing through some of our sequences. And I can tell you from personal experience that breathing can tone up your body while reducing the risk of injury. So it's actually probably the safest resistance training you can do, and you can make it as difficult as you want to. So you can at the end of 5 minutes of constant tension breathing, you can run out of breath. I mean, you can feel out of breath. It's that powerful. And more advanced techniques can actually tense and tone your whole body. Yes, you can actually tone your whole body through breathing exercises. That doesn't mean you replace your training with that, but you can add it. So obviously, some doubt this technique. Everyone has an opinion. I have mine. Through my experience, is that breathing exercises done on a consistent basis, combined with proper lifestyle diet. So notice I said lifestyle diet, so I didn't say 3-month diet or the summer diet or a flat stomach diet. Lifestyle diet and training will definitely give results. So you can actually incorporate breathing techniques into your training. And ideally would be to get to the point where you breathe in a correct way in your exercises. But that takes time, it takes focus, and takes patience. And practice. Okay, stress and anxiety. When we have anxiety, we often think that we cannot get enough air. So it's like lack of oxygen, like feel like we're trapped. And in the case of stress, we naturally take deep breaths when we are stressed in the forms of sighing. Yeah, we go, yeah, or after a stressful situation, you do that. So now what we need to do is to bring this into our life on a regular basis in a controlled manner to keep stress, anxiety, and in some cases even lower forms of depression to keep them under control. So basically this is how, knowing this about your state of mind, you are in control. And this is the secret from athletes to people with anxiety. It's breathing. It relaxes the body and mind. So when you do yoga, you essentially focus your attention on your breathing to ground yourself, or meditation, to ground yourself in the present moment, to focus. And using all your senses can really help your mind relax. And with your mind relaxing, your body relaxes as well. And the other way around, you relax your body, you relax your mind. So they are connected. Once the mind and body become focused and rhythmic, you get that feeling of heaviness in your body, or like your body is flowing. It seems to flow. It's an interesting experience if you have ever been there, if you have ever done that. And breathing involves a broad complex of physical sensations. So we're talking all the 5 senses, and then the sixth, the intuition. So more benefits include, strengthening the immune system, encourages good posture, and you know how I am about your posture. And I know most of the people who signed up for today are singers or play an instrument, and you know how important breathing is. You know how important posture is, lung strength, energy levels to keep you on the stage, to keep you alive for your audiences. For runners, some of you I'm sure look after your health as well, and if you run, you can run faster, you're stronger, and for longer. And Harvard Health publications, they can even said that you can slow the heartbeat and lower or stabilize your blood pressure. And again, I have to go back to what I said earlier. There are treatments for blood pressure, so don't just replace your treatment with breathing exercises. Talk to your doctor and say, I want to do deep breathing exercises. Is that okay for me? And then you can do it if that's okay. And it enhances the five senses, all of them: touch, smell, sight, taste, but also the sixth, intuition. If you do there are some meditations that help your intuition, enhance your intuition, and they're all focused on breathing. They all start with breathing, and that's the reason. These are some of my clients, and we do breathing exercises through our sessions. Sometimes we actually do breathing exercise before a run, and the difference is massive. The difference in speed, in how fast they run out of breath, how far they can go with the running. So it's really it's a massive shift. Makes a big difference. Andrada was one of my clients. Well, she's still around, and we talked about breathing, about posture. For her, being a singer and a pianist, this is really important. So we went through it together. Okay, what are the practical steps? So we go to the part that I like most. I like the practical stuff. So breathing exercises are just as important as eating, drinking, and sleeping. Obviously, it keeps us alive, right? We can actually live without food for a while, without water for a few days, but without breathing is just a matter of seconds. Need to drink. I'm talking too much. So, as I said earlier, you do not have to take out time to do all of them. Everyone has very busy schedules. They can actually be incorporated into your normal day, and you can do them in the car, you can do them on the bus, you can do them while you walk, or you can do them anytime. The only thing I would ask you is not to do them in a place where there's a lot of dust or car fumes. Obviously, you don't want to inhale that. Right. So these are breathing exercises that I learned from my coach, Michael. Well, I learned them before, but the way he explains them are spot on. So, yeah, it's easy to understand them. Oh yeah, first of all, yeah, if you have any heart or cardiovascular condition or high or low blood pressure or any condition, talk with your medical, with your GP, with your doctor before doing these exercises. And it should not replace any other form of treatment. Then don't try too hard. Let it flow. It's a natural process. Don't worry if you don't get it right from the beginning. It needs practice. Yeah, and if you're not used to deep breathing, you can feel a bit lightheaded. So after a short time, this will dissipate. Have a seat, relax, stop doing the exercises if you feel unwell. And right, reverse breathing check. So this is the first thing when I take my clients through the breathing exercises. This is the first thing we do, and usually what happens is that they reverse breathe. That means that when they breathe in, instead of push, they pull their stomach in, and when they breathe out, is the other way around. They breathe out while pushing the stomach out. So basically, they are inflating something that's deflating, and the other way around. So it doesn't make sense, and it's not healthy. So what I want us to do now is to do a reverse breathing check for you guys who are today on the here with me in the presentation. So place a hand on your chest and one on your stomach. Exhale to empty your lungs. So before you do any breathing exercise, you're going to exhale to empty your lungs and inhale. So the hand on your chest should not move, and the hand on your stomach should be pushed out by the stomach as it inflates. But make sure the hand on your chest does not move. So try that 2 or 3 times. So exhale, the hand on your chest should not move, and then your hand on your stomach should come in as your stomach deflates. So try that a few times. Inhale and exhale, and make sure it's only the stomach that goes in on the inhalation, out on the inhalation, and in on the exhalation. All right, so you will have to practice this. Do bear it in mind. You will receive a replay of this video because you signed up, and you're also going to receive the PDF with all the explanations and the plan. So for the next weeks, so you will have the chance to practice. Okay, level 1, straight line breathing. So first things first, stand or sit down, keeping your spine straight and with your chin relaxed and parallel to the ground. And if you were on the posture masterclass, you will know why your chin has to be parallel to the ground, because we want to avoid the head tilt, which is usually back. Usually people, when we sit, we tilt the head back. It's more complex than that, but keep the chin parallel to the ground and keep the spine straight. So place one hand on your belly button and one on your chest. And before you take the first in-breath, pull your stomach in. So you breathe out. And with your mouth closed, take an extended breath in through your nose into your abdominal area. And as you breathe in, push your hand out with your stomach muscles. And don't move the hand on your chest. As you get to the end of the breath, open the chest and fill it with the remaining air. And now your hand on the chest will move. And then you slowly breathe out through the nose with control, pulling your stomach in with your stomach muscles. And you can use your hand to slowly push it in while relaxing the shoulders. So try this a few times. So breathe into your stomach all the way, and then breathe into your chest all the way, and then you just exhale. Obviously, at the exhalation, your hand on your chest will actually go back. There's a small mistake there. Now, if you reverse breathe, you first need to correct that. So that's the first thing. You cannot go to the level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 unless you get the reverse breathing sorted out. So I hope you all got to practice a couple of times. We will go to the next one. And I have graphs because I like graphs. Triangular breathing. With a triangular breathing, there is a hold in between the in and out breath. So the same thing, place your hand over your belly button and one over your chest. And with your mouth closed, take an extended breath in through the nose. So you always start breathing out first of all, as we empty the lungs, and then we breathe in, stomach out, we hold, and then we breathe out. So because there are three equal sides, we breathe out on a count of, let's say, we breathe in on a count of 4, we hold on a count of 4, we breathe out on a count of 4. Always making sure we breathe in into our stomach, we hold, breathe out, and then we continue breathing in, holding and breathing out, the same length. So practice that a couple of times by yourself. Remember, if you have any questions, if there's anything unclear, because it's pretty difficult to actually guide this through a webinar. So if there's anything unclear, drop a question. Now, if 4 seconds, for example, or to a count of 4 is too much for you or too little, adjust it. You shouldn't struggle. So you can do 3, you can do 2. And if triangle breathing is too difficult, you practice the linear breathing. All right, so I hope everyone got to practice. Level 3, this is the square breathing. And we breathe out before you begin, as usual. With your mouth closed, take a deep breath in. So we start there, we take a breath in for 4 seconds, we hold it for 4 seconds, we breathe out for 4 seconds, and we hold it for 4 seconds, and then we repeat. So practice that. Remember, after you inflate the stomach, you can you also use your chest to get more air in. So you inflate the stomach maximum, and then you breathe into your chest as well. Rectangular breathing. So this one, the holds are double, I would say, double the length of the in-breath and out-breath. And as usual, breathe out before you begin, and then you breathe in, let's say on a count of 4, you hold on a count of 8, you breathe out on a count of 4, you hold on a count of 8. If 4 and 8 too much, go to 3 and 6. So practice that. I hope everyone is practicing. And moving on to therapeutic breathing, which is the last one. So this one, I would say, do it with your eyes closed so you can visualize the path that you will take. So first of all, what is the therapeutic breathing? Therapeutic breathing is basically directing the breath into a particular part of the body where you have an injury or illness. So you can use it to stimulate or cleanse an organ or part of the body that you feel weaker. Breathing is itself a healing process and can be transforming and invigorating or calming and relaxing. So by directing the breath into a special region, a specific region, what we can do is to stimulate it by sending oxygenated blood into the area. You send signals to the brain to reactivate the healing mechanism. You increase blood circulation, you reduce tension and pain, you calm stress and anxiety, you maintain your energy during your exercise session, and more. For example, when I run, I use this this process a lot. If I feel a certain part of the body is giving up, I start breathing into it, and I just get strength from it. So the therapeutic breathing utilizes the steps used in level 3 square breathing. But instead of directing the breath into your abdominal area, you direct it into the desired part of the body. So let's practice it now. First of all, decide on the region or part of the body that you are going to breathe into. So you take your mind and your eyes to that region. That's why I'm saying it's better to do it with your eyes closed. So sense the direct route it will take to go from your nose to the target location and back through the nose, out through the nose. And then with your mouth closed, take an extended breath in along the route, and you visualize filling every cell along the route to that specific location. And the route can feel thick like squeezing toothpaste, or it may flow as easy as water, as Michael says, and it's the perfect description. So you can breathe in for 5 seconds. And then you hold the breath for 5 seconds. And then you slowly breathe out from the targeted area through your nose for 5 seconds. And you feel each cell emptying out as you go. And then you hold the breath for the same length as the in-breath. So it's the exact square that we did in level 3, and but only you just go to a specific region of your body. You breathe in, you hold, you breathe out, you hold. So practice this with your targeted area. If you need my intervention, just let me know through a message. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes on this one. Okay, moving on. Breathing and running. And this is a major thing, because every time, with no exception, so I'm thinking back a few years now, every time I taught someone how to breathe while they run, they were surprised that no one has ever told them before. So breathing while running is really important, because it makes a huge difference. It makes a difference between running 15 minutes or half an hour. So first of all, why there are two schools of thought, things that I've read online that everyone reads. There are coaches who say, or personal trainers who say, breathe in and out through your mouth. Now, the problem with breathing in through your mouth, well, you see the first 3 bullet points. First of all, the nose is part of the respiratory system. So that's why you breathe in through your nose and not through your mouth. The nose filters the air before it goes into your lungs. And today, with all the pollution and all the dust around, you do not want to breathe in through your mouth. The nose can also warm up the air so we don't get a sore throat, especially when running in cold weather. As you all know, I specialize in outdoor training, and during winter, breathing through your mouth, and after half hour of running, or even just walking, you're gonna get a sore throat and a very dried mouth. And then the out breath can be down through the nose or the mouth. If you do it through the mouth is slightly open and lips are relaxed. And the comparison is that the mouth is like the mouth of a dead fish. I know it's the comparison a bit weird, but it really points out how your mouth should be opened when you run. Now, I am the advocate of breathing out through your mouth because it's easier to control, and you can breathe out the whole air. Sometimes it's difficult when you run fast to breathe out the air, enough air to get the whole air out of your lungs. While with breathing through your mouth, you get more air out. Now, how do we breathe while we run? These are the breathing patterns that I learned many years ago from my karate teacher. So as a beginners, we start with the 2-2 pattern. So you breathe in while you stepping left right. You breathe out while stepping right left. So you synchronize your breath with your steps. So it would go like this. So I'm exaggerating a little bit. When you run, it can go faster. If you run faster, you can go. Now, the reason I break it down like that is because it's easier to control the amount of air you get out and in. If you, instead of doing, that one is a bit less controlled, in my opinion. So break it down. So you can actually practice now if you want. Or when you walk. I remember when I started doing this, I was actually walking to high school, and I was doing this breathing pattern 30 minutes while I was walking to high school. And that's how I started. I started by doing it walking, because it's difficult to bring a different breathing pattern into your exercise or into your run before you're even accustomed to it. So it's good to do it when you sit, when you lie down, when you walk, and then when you run. When you advance, you can try 3-3 pattern and then 4-4. Now, there is a variation of this, saying you breathe in 3 times, you breathe out twice. And the reason for that is because you want to alternate the foot on which the first breath goes out. So when you breathe first, you don't want it to fall on the same leg, because that's repeated pressure on the same leg. However, you want to breathe out more than you breathe in. So I'm a bit, I still go with my 2-2 pattern, but just so you are aware, there are different opinions out there. And while I do agree that repeated force on the same leg that might cause problems long term, maybe we can find a different solution rather than breathing less of the carbon dioxide out. So I still think we should breathe the same or more than we breathe out than we breathe in. We breathe out more than we breathe in, or the same. Breathing while exercising. In the case of exercising, we exhale on the effort and inhale when you're ending the effort or unclenching your muscles. Because as the muscles contract when pushing, when pushing against the ground, at the end of the effort or during the effort, your muscles contract. So you are naturally pushing out the air. So if you force yourself to breathe in while you're pushing out, you're actually going to create a lot of pressure there in your chest. So for example, the press up. You inhale when you go down, And as you exhale when you push up, when your muscles contract. So when you push up, your whole body should contract in a press up, because you should lift yourself as a platform, and not made of different or of multiple pieces. Just you lift yourself as a one whole unit. So everything has to clench, all the muscles in your body to tense all of them. So that means the air goes out. So you breathe out on the effort, stomach in. Sit-ups and crunches. Before the repetition, you breathe in deeply, and then you slowly, then you breathe out through your mouth when you sit or when you crunch or sit up, as your stomach muscles contract. It makes sense. You contract, air goes out. Now, you know I don't really agree with sit-ups and crunches, but it's an easy example to give you. Now, some exercises will need a natural breathing pattern, so you won't be able to do a 2-2, or you won't be able to do this controlled. But as you practice, you will develop it. When you stretch is another example. You breathe out on the stretch, because that relaxes your muscles and allows them to stretch more and to reduce the risk of injuries, and so on and so forth. I mean, the examples are limitless. So, rule of thumb: breathe out on the effort or on the stretch. Now, how to put them into application. And I know if you were at the Food Discipline Masterclass and at the Posture Masterclass, you've heard this before, but I want you to hear it again, because these are classes. So the more often you hear it, the more we will root them into your mind. Before you do anything, you stop for a fraction of a second, and then you do. So we're talking about responding rather than reacting. So the same with the breathing exercises. You don't just start doing them. You stop for a fraction of a second, and then you go. You have to be mindful of what you do. Don't do it for the sake of it. The PDF daily plan, for those of you who are today live, you will receive a PDF daily plan, because that is as a thank you for me. And I hope you will actually put it into application. Besides this, you will also receive a daily email coaching. Well, coaching through email daily. So yeah, make sure you look out for my emails in the next 7-10 days. And then, yes, the weekly 15 minutes classes will probably turn into 5 or 10 minutes, but I'm going to do them like more often. And make sure if you're in the Merisoiu Technique group on Facebook, you just have to check to search it on Facebook. You're going to find it and click join. And the group will be the first one to know about them. And there are over 200 people, so you guys will be the first ones to find out. And I will start doing them probably in a week. I don't want to promise anything, but I'm trying to start doing them next week. And that will be really, really awesome. Sorry, I get excited when this happens. Yeah, this Richard is another one of my clients. And I mean, he's very advanced. He's been with me for 2 years. His testimonial is out of date, actually. I'm waiting for a new one. But yeah, we've done all the breathing and all the foundations. We are building and building and building. There's always something to do. And yeah, breathing, posture, food discipline, everything, taking him through it. Martina is one of my online clients, and we do breathing exercises when we need to, and other coaching, depending on what everyone needs. We focus on that mostly. Yeah, if anyone wants to know more about the one-to-one mentoring, you just need to contact me. You know how to reach me: email, Facebook, anything. So that's all. Does anyone have any questions? Because I'm sure there are some questions. If no questions pop into your mind, you can send them. You can send an email later on. All right, so I can only assume I did a very good job if no one asks me anything. Right. Well, with all this being said, thank you very much for being here. I'm sure you will have questions later on, so just drop me an email. You will receive the recording of the session. So if you need me, if you want guidance, but you'll also receive the PDF. It's going to make it really easy. Thank you, June. Well, I'm really happy you are enjoying my webinars, and they will help you a lot. All right. Well, I wish everyone a great evening, and I will see you 2 weeks from now at the Mindful Control webinar, and it's going to be as awesome as all the other ones. All right. Take care, everyone, and have a great end of the week. Goodbye.